We are back here in Sauget for the last road game before the All-Star break, as it's game 3 of a 3-game series between the Gateway Grizzlies and the Evansville Otters. Well, it's been a couple of really polar opposite games in games 1 and 2. Both winning teams, scored 16 runs in each of the two games. Gateway ended up winning 16-1 on Tuesday yesterday. The Otters ended up winning 16-5. Couple of very big innings on the offensive side. Gateway had that 9-run fourth inning on Tuesday. Evansville had an 8-run sixth. And so far now we're tied up one game apiece here in this series. Should be a good rubber match here as hopefully the rain subsides for a little bit. Had a little bit of rain in yesterday's game. We started very early as well. The Otters ended up finishing half number 1 yesterday. Their 51st game of 102 and 32-19. Definitely nothing to scoff at. Very good. Firmly in a playoff spot halfway into the year. The Otters have this one, then 3 more at home at Bosse Field against the Sussex County Miners before we head into the All-Star break. Speaking of All-Stars, it was recently announced earlier today that we actually have a 6th All-Star that's going to Florence next week, and his name is Junior Serta. Serta, 2.50 ERA in 18 innings. Usually the closer, 11 saves, which is high up in the rankings in terms of saves in the Frontier League. He's been a pretty dominant in terms of closing. Got 2 saves in 1 day back on Sunday, and he's going to be a replacement on the All-Star roster. So he will be joining Logan Brown, John Ponder, Marcos Gonzalez, Samani Jones, and TJ Salvaggio. Dennis Pierce, a snub. I feel like he deserved to get in. Otters are now back over 500 on the road, 13-12, as Gateway with the losser is at 500 at home, 14-14. It was a very rough day pitching-wise for Gateway yesterday. 15 walks, which tied their franchise high in a game back in 2021. They walked 15 on June 13th against Windy City. As the pitching has been a definite issue for Gateway, and the hitting has been interesting, and they've been good. They've been bad on occasions. They do have there are last in average and runs scored, but they are pretty good in the home runs department, taking advantage of that short porch out in right field. But the walking and the bullpen ERA has been the huge issue for Gateway. Their bullpen ERA since June 13th has been 9.73, and in this series specifically, it is at a 10.55. So the bullpen, a little bit to be desired, but a couple moves were made by Gateway today, as Donovan Burke, who was on the injured list, is back here, and he's going to get a bullpen role. As we take a look at the bullpen there for Gateway. Starting today is what is probably their best pitcher, Gage Vales. Only all-star selection on the pitching side for Gateway, one of 2, as Jose Alvarez is going to be catching today. He is going to form the all-star battery between him and Vales. On the other side, there's Garrett Simpson, who's getting the start today for the Otters. Simpson is at a 4.93 ERA. Last start was against Joliet back on last Friday, on July 3rd. That was the first time that Simpson has pitched and the Otters lost since May 13th. As the Otters are 7-2 in games which he starts, including he has a 5-1 record. So Simpson, usually when he pitches, the Otters end up winning. And in the past 2 series against Washington and Joliet, the Otters have lost the first game of the series and have come back to win games 2 and 3 to take the series. They're looking to do that for the 3rd time in a row here, as the Otters have not lost a series in a couple weeks. 2-game series that was cut down to 2 because of the rain delay against Joliet. That was the last time they lost a series. And that streak will continue here if Evansville takes game 3. Gateway trying to win a series here at home and keep alive in the division race. They're still in second place, even though they are 4 games below 500. They're 3.5 back of Windy City, who is the only team in the West Division that is over 500. The other 4 teams, Gateway, Schaumburg, Mississippi, Joliet, are separated by a game and a half still, as Evansville is second, still behind Washington by 3 games, but a very sizable gap between them and Florence. They're 9 games back. Lake Erie is 14 games back. Remember a month ago that this was a very close divisional race between all 4 teams, and it seems as though Evansville and Washington sort of pulled away in the Central Division. Sussex County is back over 500 after winning the first 2 games against Lake Erie. We'll face them tomorrow at Bosse Field, but they're 4.5 back of New York, who are 31-21 after a very solid winning streak. That was a very close division up until the past week or two. Now New York is 4.5 games up. Take a look at the batting order here. Starting with the Otters, it's Lynn Scott leading off yet again with Amani Jones, Dennis Pierce, and Logan Brown, the 2-3-4 guys. LG Castillo is batting 5th in right field. Blake Robertson's in left. He's batting 6th with TJ Salvaggio. A rare start, not in the 9 spot. He's batting 7th today. JJ Cruz is at 3rd, batting 8th. And in the 9 spot, it's the catcher Cohen Wilbanks. On the other side, it's Victor Castillo leading off in right field, Sawyer Smith behind him. Jose Alvarez and Bryson Horn batting 3rd and 4th. Dale Thomas at 2nd base, batting 5th. Brennan Orff is at 1st, batting 6th. And Darrell Lee, Mitchell Sanford, and Cole Brannon, the last 3 in the order for Gateway. Take a look at our umpires. Dylan Self is behind the plate calling the balls and strikes with Jose Muriente, the crew chief, at 1st. Wes Dunkel at 3rd. As Dunkel was behind the plate yesterday, and Muriente was behind the plate in Game 1 on Tuesday. Otters are looking to go 14 games over 500 for the first time this season. They've been 13 games over 3 times, including right now, but have not been 14 games over. It would be a new season high. The last time the Otters got their 32nd win last season, it took 84 games. Started 32-52. It took 51 this season. It took half the year. It took 84 games. It's almost the full season last year. But the 96 games now increased to 102. Otters only need 8 wins to tie their season win total from last year, which is kind of crazy considering that we're still in the early stages of July. There's still about a month and a half left in the season, and we're getting close to passing up last season's total. I was talking about how this team is a lot different than last year's team. And there's so many ways you can talk about how much better this team is than last year. You can talk about the home record. You can talk about the July record. They're already 5-2. You can talk about the 1-run games. They're 8-1 in 1-run games. You can talk about how they haven't been swept yet this season. They're one of 4 teams to have not been swept in a game yet this season. There's just so many things you can talk about. 29-4 when they out-hit their opponents. They're 1st in batting average. They're 3rd in hits. The bullpen's been solid. It's just overall a completely new team, and it seems as though everything has been done right here with the acquisitions and who to keep, who to sign. It's just overall a very good vibe in the clubhouse. All these guys really do love each other's company, and they're fighting for each other, trying to win games for each other, and you could see that clearly on the field as the Otters are sitting firmly in a wild card spot. Six games up in the first wild card because Florence is behind them. They got the second one at 26-25. At this point in the season, it feels as though the West Division is kind of whoever wins the division is making the playoffs, and then those 4 teams are really just going to fight for that second wild card along with Lake Erie. It's going to be a close one. But it's also very possible that the second wildcard team is under 500, which is also very crazy. So we'll hit the anthem here, as we'll take a quick break on the Otters Digital Network. Game 3 of 3 here from Sauget. This will be the last time we're in Sauget in the regular season. Played a series here a little bit earlier on in the season. Second series here, the third overall between the Otters and the Grizzlies. Last series, the fourth of 4, is going to be at Bosse Field August 11th through the 13th. So we will see Gateway one more time in the regular season, but it will be in Evansville. There's Gage Vales, who's getting the start today. All-star selection, so we'll see him in Florence next week, as well as the catcher Jose Alvarez. Maybe these two guys will be pitching to each other in the All-Star game. See what happens. Vales is at a 2.51 ERA, 57 and a third innings. 42 hits, 16 earned, 16 walks compared to 52 strikeouts. So, for a pitching staff that walks a lot of guys, Vales has been a pretty big breath of fresh air for Gateway, as he has been able to locate very well. He threw a very good start. 7 2/3 against a very good Quebec Capitals offense back on the third. 7 2/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 8. But the bullpen ended up blowing the lead, and Quebec won that game. It'll be Lynn Scott, Jones, and Pierce to lead off here against Vales. All gray for the Otters. They wore gray yesterday when they scored 16. They wore blue on Tuesday when they gave up 16. So a little superstition for the guys. On the other side, light blue jerseys with the white pants for Gateway. We'll take a look at the defense as Lee is in left field. Brandon in center with Victor Castillo in right. Bryson Horn at third with Sawyer Smith at short. Dale Thomas at second. Brendan Orff at first. Jose Alvarez, as mentioned previously, doing the catching for Gage Vales, as we're about to get set here for game 3 of 3 between the Otters and the Grizzlies. Both teams trying to get themselves a series win here in Sauget, Illinois. First pitch from Vales is going to miss inside for a ball one. First pitch at 6:35. Start time originally 6:30, but 6:35 we start in Evansville, so not too big of a deal. I don't think we've had a game here where we've started on the scheduled 6:30. That's inside for ball 2. Sam Linscott Had a very good day yesterday, went 3 for 4, scored 5 times. 2-0 is called a strike. It's 2-1. 3 for 4, 5 runs, a double, a homer, drove in a run, walked twice, reached 6 times. Most runs scored, most times reaching by an Otter this season. Swing and a miss, it's 2-2. After this series, Linscott overall against Gateway is hitting .357, 5 for 14. 3 of those were yesterday. This series, he's 4 for 7. 2-2. Foul tip. Got off the padding of Alvarez all the way over to the Otters dugout. It'll remain at 2-2 here against Linscott. Most earned runs given up in an inning is 4 out of the 9 is the first. Better to get at Vales early here. Good at bat to start off, though, for Linscott. He's been able to stay alive here. Already a high pitch count in the first at bat of the day. Payoff from Vales. Grounder over to short, scooped up there by Smith. Throw on to first is in time, and that's out number 1. Not a lot of pitches, at least, but out number 1 is recorded in the top of the first. Well, now that'll bring up Amani Jones. Amani Jones in a little bit of a slump yet again. He is 0 for 8 in this series. Overall, 1 for his last 19 in his last 5 games. Jones still hitting at a .288. This is game number 50 for him. 1-0. Called a strike, makes it 1-1. Monty Jones, even with the 0 for 8, is still hitting at a .321 against Gateway this season, 9 for 28. Has a homer, 5 RBIs, 7 walks. That'll miss, makes it ball 2. Went 0 for 5 yesterday, had a run driven in, walk, and 2 strikeouts, but was the only guy on the Otters to not get a base hit yesterday. 2-1. Just outside, it's ball 3. Monty Jones, one of now 6 All-Stars for Evansville. Jones, Brown are and Salvaggio, the only 3 that are in the lineup today. Grounder over to first. Orf is going to throw it over to first in time for out number 2. Orf kind of cut off Thomas at second base. He really went a far way over to his right to get that one. 2 outs to lead off the top of the first inning. Dennis Pierce. Pierce is coming off of back-to-back 1 for 4 performances. He did drive in 2 runs yesterday, 2 of the 16, as he walked twice as well. Pierce leading the team in homers with 10, only guy in double digits for the Otters. First pitch from Vales is a slider called a strike. Vales has a sinker, cut, slider, changeup, splitter. 5-pitch mix for the starter. When he pitched against the Otters, he was a bullpen arm. Swing and a miss, another slider, and it's 0-2. Vales trying to get a 1-2-3 here in the first inning. Continue where he left off against Quebec, back on the third. 0-2. Fastball a little outside, makes it 1-2. Pierce hitting tick over 300, 301 now in 47 games. 1-2 pitch from Vales is a high fly ball that's going to get out of play. Almost hit somebody in the concourse, that's why you got to pay attention. Sun coming out a little bit here. Sun's shining. through all of the dark clouds in the sky. Another 1-2. And another foul ball. That one's not coming back into the stadium. Still remains at 1-2. So it will be if it's a 1-2-3 for Vales, it'll be one with a pretty high pitch count. This is pitch number 18 now in the first inning. Another 1-2 is a good take on the slider. As Pierce takes ball 2, makes it 2-2. Two-two here from Vales. And Pierce stays alive again. They're going to need Vales to get a long outing here. 5 guys are available in the bullpen for Gateway after they used 9 arms. Now, that being said, 2 of them were position players, Davey Morgan and Bryson Horn, but they used Peyton, Lovin, Russ, Sparks, Burcham, Cartwright, and Ronnie. As poking one foul yet again is Pierce. Couple of very long at-bats here. As now this is going to be pitch number 20 in the first inning for Vales. Another 2-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Pierce goes down swinging. First K for Vales. Well, the Otters go down 1-2-3, but they very much upped the pitch count of Vales in the first inning. Led to the bottom of the first, no score on the Otters Digital Network. First inning brought to you by the Mesker Park Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville, Indiana. Garrett Simpson, the starter for the Otters today. 4.93 ERA, 45 and 2/3 innings. He gives up a good amount of hits, but is fantastic at limiting walks. Only has 9 walks compared to 29 strikeouts. He's given up 10 homers, but it's a little skewed. He gave up 7 in his first 2 starts. He's only given up 3 since, and 2 of those were on the 26th against Florence, in which he did end up getting the victory. So, mentioned previously, the July 3rd start was his last against Joliet. Through 5 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, ended up getting an 8-5 loss. So take a look at the defense. Robertson, Linscott, Castillo left to right field with Cruz, Salvaggio, Jones, and Brown. Third to first, Wilbanks doing the catching for Simpson. Victor Castillo leads off with a fly ball. Will get foul, head into the lawn area, and left field makes it 0-1. Last start for Simpson, the first time the Otters lost in one of his starts since May 13th. That was his first start of the season. Since then, it's been win, 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 win. And now Simpson is at a 5-1 record after getting 5 victories in 6 starts between May 24th and June 26th, the month span where he was just straight dominant. A little high. It's 1-2 here to Castillo. Simpson's faced off against Castillo 3 times this season. Castillo's gone 0-3. Broke his bat, foul right in front of the box. Had one almost go into the box at one point in this series, but that one didn't get the good hop. I was ready for that one, though. I'm ready for anything now. Still remains here at 1-2. Simpson against Castillo. And those 3 at-bats. A couple of grounders. As Castillo's going to take a minute to get his new bat out of the way. Simpson pitched against Gateway back on May 19th. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 5 strikeouts. Gave up 2 homers. But the Otters won 15-5. Check swing foul over to the Otters dugout. Another 1-2 here from Simpson. And a foul this time into the Grizzlies dugout. So after a long at-bat for Linscott to lead off the top of the first, long one here for Castillo to lead off the bottom half. Gateway has 7 lefties in the lineup, which is not fair. 1-2. Another one fought off. Castillo, Smith, Horn, Orth, Lee, Sanford, Brandon, all lefties in the lineup today, which is insane that they have that many lefties on the team. But it does make sense considering the shortness of the right field area here at Arsenal BG Ballpark. And also, to be fair, Otters using all their lefties today as well. 1-2 yet again is fouled away yet again. Still remains at 1-2. Pitch number 8. 1-2 yet again. High fly ball. It's going to go foul. A lot of foul balls. That one 106 off the bat. And if it was fair, it would have probably gone over the big wall of ads over there in right field, but ends up going foul. 1-2 yet again. And another foul ball. Castillo is a big fan of foul balls, apparently. Sitting at 205, he went 1 for 6 yesterday. That one's fair, and it's over to Salvaggio, who throws on to first in time for out number 1. So a very long at-bat and a good one overall for Castillo, but he grounds out to shortstop for the first out. Sawyer Smith's coming off of back-to-back 1 for 5 days in each of the first 2 games of the series. First pitch from Simpson is a grounder and past the dive of Jones into right field for a base hit. Almost a good play defensively from Jones. Just got under the glove, and the first hit of the day belongs to Sawyer Smith. First of 2 righties in the lineup. Coming up, Jose Alvarez, the all-star selection. I do find it kind of funny that with all the lefties in the lineup, one of the few righties got the all-star nod. First pitch from Simpson, runner goes. Throw to second is in time. Great throw from Cohen Wilbanks, and he guns down Smith at second base. Smith now 22 for 25 as he gets caught stealing by Wilbanks. They're a good throw and a good tag from Amani Jones at second base. Nobody on now with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch from Simpson. Little out. Sorry, inside. It's 2-0. Alvarez back-to-back multi-hit games in this series. 3 for 5 on Tuesday, 2 for 4 yesterday. Has a hit now in 33 of 38 games this season. And a good take on the slider makes it 3-0. 16 multi-hit games now after 2 straight. 342 now in his 39th game. 3-0 fouls it off himself, and it's 3-1. Simpson now trying for a 1-2-3. Both pitchers, though, decent amount of pitches in the first inning. As Vales finished that inning with 21. That one is inside for ball 4, and Alvarez will take the walk. Took 46 1/3 innings, but Simpson is into the double digits column in walks. That was his 10th of the year. Really does not enjoy walking guys. Bryson Horn, man on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. First pitch from Simpson. He's going to miss. Horn has a hit in his last 3 games, but those are the only hits he has in July. He's 3 for 29 in July. 1-0. Fouled away off to the left side. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Makes it 1-1. Horn pitched yesterday. Pitched a scoreless inning. He was the only pitcher out of the 9 that Gateway threw that didn't walk anybody. 1-1. A little inside. And it is ball 2. Gateway's bullpen is a little worse for wear. They have Burt, Galva, Hickey, Ronnie, and Ortiz. Otters, they're in a lot better of a situation. They got a lot more arms. They only used 4. Liner to short and cut by Salvaggio for out number 3. Scoreless frame for Garrett Simpson as we will head to the second 0-0 on the Otters Digital Network. It's Margaritaville night here at Arsenal BG Ballpark. I'm here to claim that our Margaritaville tomorrow is going to be better. Right off the bat. Guess what? You know what jerseys they're wearing? The normal ones. Guess what jerseys we're wearing? Specialty tomorrow. Yep. And we have a leg giveaway for the first 500 people. And we have post-game fireworks. So make sure you come out to Bossy Field for Margaritaville night. We got Jurassic Ballpark night on Saturday, Eras night on Sunday. It's a fun-filled weekend in Evansville. So make sure you pull up before the All-Star break. First pitch is outside to Logan Brown for ball 1. Gage Vales had a 1-2-3 first inning through 21 pitches, though. Logan Brown, grounder over to second base. Ranging is Thomas, his throw to first in time. And that's out number 1. LG Castillo and Blake Robertson, the other 2 leading off. LG Castillo had one heck of a game yesterday. He only went 2 for 4, but a 3-run triple and a 3-run homer. Ended up driving in 6 runs. which is the most RBIs in a game by an Otter this season. Up to 34 RBIs, hitting at a 341. Grounder over to third. Bryson Horn throws across the diamond to first, and it's in time. Coming off the bag for just a second was Orf, but ended up hanging on for out number 2. Well, after a couple of long at-bats in the first inning, it's been an efficient second for Vales. Blake Robertson hit his 4th homer of the year yesterday, 2 for 4. Hit a bomb off an eephus pitch. It was 49 miles per hour, and he sent it into the lawn in right field. Which, yes, position player, but in the stat sheet, you're not going to remember that. So, yes, 4 homers, 21 ribbies for good old B-Rob. Called a strike. It's 0-2 here against Robertson. .35 hits now. Game number 37. 0-2 in the turf, and it's 1-2. All 6 games in this road trip have been on turf. Joliet had turf. That was, I guess, the reason we didn't have a game Saturday. Fouled away off the netting and onto the roof. There was a sweep right there. I think somebody made a catch. I can't see a thing because it's there's a big wall blocking my way, but I think somebody made a nice catch. Another 1-2, grounder over to second base. Throw to first from Thomas in time for out number 3. 6 up, 6 down for Vales to start Game 3 of the series. We'll head to the bottom of the second. No score on the Otters Digital Network. Second innings brought to you by J.E. Shekel Armor Protection. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service and construction company. Garrett Simpson gave up a single and walked Jose Alvarez, but still managed to get out of the first with a scoreless frame, thanks to his catcher, Cohen Wilbanks, who threw out Smith trying to steal second base. It'll be Thomas Orf Lee to lead off here in the bottom half of the second inning. Otters at home starting tomorrow, 6:35 against Sussex County. First Atlantic Conference team the Otters play this season. In the Atlantic Conference, we play Sussex County, New York, and Down East this season. On the other side, Gateway is heading to Schaumburg for a series before the All-Star break, and then they're on a 6-game roadie after against Lake Erie and Florence. A little unfortunate for Gateway in terms of scheduling because they are in Florence, or at least a couple of them are, for the All-Star game, but then they have to go to Lake Erie and then back to Florence to actually play the Alls. Could have just stayed in Florence and then played Lake Erie, but unfortunate scheduling. Grounder over to short. Salvaggio throws to first in time, and that's out number 1. Brennan Orf hit in his last 4 games. He had a 3-run homer in the first game of the series on Tuesday. Yesterday, he went 1 for 4. One homer, 4 ribbies. First pitch called a strike, lower half of the zone. It's 0-1. Orf has a strikeout in 9 of his 11 games. It has a hit in 8 of them, though. Last hitless game was on the 3rd against Quebec. He went 0 for 4, struck out 3 times. He has 10 walks compared to 12 Ks. 1-1 is just outside. Orf is from Wildwood, Missouri. Might be thinking, where is Wildwood, Missouri? Well, I'm trying to find out. Hold on. West of St. Louis, so pretty close, actually. 3-1 to Orf. Simpson, who doesn't walk too many guys, already has a walk today. That was against Alvarez. 3-1. Grounder foul down the first base line. It's a full count, 3-2. Payoff. Grounder, this time fair, over to first base. Taking it to the bag himself is Logan Brown for out number 2. Darrell Lee is first at bat of the day. This is game number 8 for him. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts yesterday. That was after hitting his first professional home run on Tuesday against the Otters. Ended up going 2 for 2 with 3 walks. Reached 5 times in that game. 0 for 4 performance, though, yesterday as he fouls one back to the netting. Makes it 0-1. Lee signed back on June 30th. He's the newest offensive signing for Gateway. Grounder to short. Salvaggio's been busy so far on the defensive side. He throws over to first in time, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the second for Simpson after a 1-2-3 top half for Vales. Might be in the early stages of a pitcher's duel. We'll head to the third, no score on the Otters Digital Network. Third innings brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. 6 up, 6 down for Vales to start off today as it's Salvaggio, Cruz, and Wilbanks coming up to the plate to lead off the third inning. Salvaggio is not usually in the 7 hole. It's usually in the 9 spot, but this is the Only the 4th game this season where TJ's been in the 7th spot in the lineup. First pitch from Vales. Ooh, inside, straightens him up a little bit. Makes it 1-0. Salvaggio has 3 starts, now 4 in the 7th spot, 5 in the 8 hole, and 38 batting 9th. High chopper over to third. It's going to stay fair. Throw on to first is in time by Horn to Orf, and it's out number 1. 4 straight outs on the ground ball. 6 of the 7 outs recorded have been on the grounder. Just the strikeout of Dennis Pierce, the only one that hasn't been. As Lee, Brandon, and Castillo are kind of just standing out there, at least for the first 2 and a third. J.J. Cruz up for his first at-bat of the day. Came in as a pinch runner for Marcos Gonzalez after, I think he tweaked something trying to get out of the way of a pitch inside. Is not playing today. Cruz ended up going 1 for 2, scored twice, and doubled in the replacement of Marcos Gonzalez. Grounder up the middle and into center field for a base hit. First base runner of the day as J.J. Cruz now has a hit in 4 straight games. Good piece of hitting from J.J. Cruz, getting it just fast enough to get out of the reach of both Smith and Thomas in the middle infield. That'll bring up Cohen Wilbanks, who had a hit in 6 straight before coming in as a defensive replacement on Tuesday. Ended up walking in his only at-bat. Still having a fantastic last couple weeks offensively. High fly ball, shallow left field, heading into foul ground. Smith, Lee, Horn. No one's going to get there. It'll land into foul territory. Smith gave it his all, but he wasn't able to get the grab. No man's land there, and luckily it is not going to result in out number 2. Wilbanks is going to get another shot. It felt like Lee had a better route at that one than Smith, but I'm sure Smith called him off, considering Lee didn't even attempt to try and make a catch there. 0-1 from Vales. Low and in makes it 1-1. Wilbanks now hitting at a .231, 20th game of the year. Was hitting below 170 before his 6-game hitting streak. 1-1 is low and in yet again. It's 2-1. Wilbanks, the 25-year-old from Taylorsville, Georgia. Two and 1 here. J.J. Cruz over on first. It's only 0 for 1 on stolen bases, but the throw back is not in time as it was really close. But Jose Muriente calls him safe. Wilbanks has a 5.79 catcher ERA. All the catchers, Logan Brown, Wilbanks, and Mark Black, have very similar catcher ERAs this season. Wilbanks is the lowest, but not by much, 5.79. Mark Black is at 5.82, and Logan Brown's at 5.93. But Logan Brown, a substantially bigger sample size of 249 innings compared to 146 for Cohen Wilbanks and only 51 for Mark Black. As we'll head into a mound visit, 3-1 here against Wilbanks, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as Schaumburg and Windy City are tied at 0 in the top of the third. Joliet's beaten Mississippi 4-0 in the 2nd inning. Joliet had a walk-off 3-run homer in the 10th against Mississippi. Brockton is shutting out Quebec 5-0 in the bottom of the third. New York Down East tied up at 1 in the 5th. Washington beating Florence 5-4 in the 4th. 7-1 Troyes and Troyes City. Troyes scored 6 in the 3rd inning. Grounder, that's a fair ball into left field for a base hit, and Cohen Wilbanks' hot offense continues as he has a single back-to-back hits here with one out, and it's back to the top of the lineup in Sam Linscott. Bottom of the order, putting in work here. 2 hits, back-to-back singles, first and second with one out for Linscott. Linscott led off the game with a grounder to short. Big spot here to drive in the game's first run. That one is going to get over the head of Linscott past Alvarez, and both runners will advance to second and third. That was a very scary situation as Linscott had to go duck all the way to the ground, but luckily for the Otters, he's okay, and both runners advance. So it's now Cruz at third, Wilbanks at second with one out, and a 1-0 here to Linscott from Vales. Here's the pitch. Slider hits the outside part of the zone for strike one. Vales threw a complete game on June 10th against Schaumburg. Also had a season high with 10 strikeouts in the 4-1 victory against the Boomers. It's probably his best performance so far. Grounder over to short, run will score. Throw to first is in time. And that is out number 2, but Cruz comes in to score from third, and the Otters strike first. It's 1-0 here in the top of the third inning. RBI ground out for Linscott. Wilbanks stays at second base as Amani Jones will come up. Runner on second and 2 outs with a run in here for Evansville. Amani Jones grounded out to Orff in his first at-bat. There's a 3-1 as he scoots out of the way of a pitch in the dirt inside. Vales' season high in earned runs given up was 4. That was against New Jersey on June 21st. Started as a bullpen arm. So that one will miss just inside. Pitched in 2 games against the Otters, May 21st through 2 scoreless, then on May 27th through a scoreless inning there as well, before he ended up becoming a full-time starter. 2-0 is swung on and missed. First game of the season, though, Vales did pitch 4 scoreless with 7 strikeouts against Joliet on May 12th. That was his longest outing of the season for a little bit before he became the full-time starter he is now. 2-1. Little low. It's ball 3. Vales 16 walks this season. Most walks in a game has been 4. That was on June 16th against Brockton. 3-1. Grounder over to second base. Thomas will throw to first in time for out number 3. Well, the Otters get a run across. Sam Linscott, the RBI grounder, drives in Cruz from third, and Evansville has a 1-0 lead. Heading to the bottom of the third on the Otters Digital Network. Third inning brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. We already did that read. Apologies. 1-0 Otters here in the bottom of the third inning. I'm so used to doing the reads at the bottom half of innings now that I did it at the top half, and force of habit now. 2 scoreless for Simpson. 1-2-3, bottom of the second inning, as he'll face off against Sanford, Brandon, and Castillo here in the third. Now pitching with the lead for the first time today. Mitchell Sanford leads it off. First pitch a little inside for ball 1. Oh, and leading off an inning so far this season, Sanford is hitting .300. 1-0 just misses high, and it's ball 2. Leading off an inning, 9 for 30, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts for Mr. Sanford. He's hitting at a .212, but he's got a hit in his last 3 games, as that one will miss high, and it's 3-0. Well, so far this season, when the Otters score first, they're 23-7. 3-0 is going to be called a strike. Higher half of the zone makes it 3-1. When they lead after 3 innings so far this season, they're 19-4. Called strike 2. Sanford still has yet to take the bat off of his shoulder. Now is going to have to here in a 3-2. Payoff here from Simpson. Or maybe not. It is called ball 4 and a leadoff walk by Sanford. First man to lead off for both sides in an inning today, as Cole Brandon will step up for his first at bat. Number 9 hole hitter today for Gateway. Brandon 2 for 4 yesterday, drove in a run. He's driven in a run in his last 3 games, has a hit in his last 4. It was his 10th multi-hit game of the season. Shows the bunt, drops it down back to Simpson, who will bobble it and not able to recover, as Brandon will make it to first. So that will be an error on Simpson. It'll put 2 on here with nobody out. So the error puts 2 on with nobody out for the top of the lineup and Victor Castillo. Gateway trying to tie things up here in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch from Simpson, showing bunt again is Castillo. He pulls it back, though, as it's called ball 1. Corners crashing here. Brown at first, Cruz at third. Brown very much closer to the plate than Cruz is. 1-0, bunt showed yet again, as that's outside for ball 2. Trying to get runners on second and third here with 1 out. Bring up the bulk of the order in Smith Alvarez and Bryson Horn. 2-0. Doesn't show bunt there, but that one will miss for ball 3. Walk will load the bases with nobody out for Smith. Simpson losing a bit of location here. Has only walked 3 batters 1 time this season. Runners go, as that is called a strike, and both runners will steal their respective bases. Sanford steals third, and taking second is Brandon. A double steal puts runners at second and third without the need for a bunt. 3-1 now to Castillo, as the go-ahead run is now in scoring position in Brandon. 3-1. That's down the line, foul over to the lawn Over to the Otters bullpen. Somebody made a nice catch off of the netting over there. I think that was Landon Williman. Payoff now from Simpson. Another full count. Popped up, foul ground. Wilbanks has space, but now it will go off of the netting. Stay foul. Almost was going to be out number one. And the net ends up saving Castillo, as he'll live to see another pitch here in his second at-bat. Grounded out to Salvaggio in his first at-bat. Led off the bottom of the first inning. Simpson's only time walking 3 batters was June 19th against Mississippi. Still only gave up 1 earned run in that game, and the Otters won 13-1. Another payoff. Grounder to first, as that is foul. Just got over the glove of Logan Brown, but it's going to get into the Grizzlies bullpen this time, and it's going to remain at 3-2. Another 3-2 here for Castillo against Simpson. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Throw to first on the drop third is in time, as a huge strikeout for Simpson, his first of the day, and a big out number 1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Now, Gateway did go 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position yesterday. Sawyer Smith will try to bring in a run. First pitch is called a strike. Good curveball hits the bottom of the zone. Makes it 0-1. As so far, Smith with runners in scoring position, 7 for 24, hitting at a .292. Does have a homer. The 0-1. Just misses inside. It's 1-1. Now back-to-back 3-0 to 3-2 counts. One ended up being a walk to Sanford. The other one, a strikeout of Castillo. 1-1 to Sawyer Smith. High fly ball. It's going to get out of play, foul. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. It makes it 1-2. And a strikeout here would be massive for Simpson to try and still get out of this scoreless. Second and third, nobody out. Still a chance to get out of this one here for Simpson. Might rally the troops on the offensive side as well against Vales. 1-2 pitch. A little high on the fastball, as Wilbanks had to reach all the way up and get that one, make sure it didn't get past. Sanford at third, Brannon at second. Sanford now 9th stolen base after taking third, 9 for 10. Brannon is now 11 for 12. 2-2. Fouls it off himself. And we'll do it again. Smith did single in his first at-bat, but caught stealing, trying to head to second base. Team leader in stolen bases got caught for the third time back in the first inning on a good throw from Wilbanks. Another 2-2 from Simpson. And that will miss. This is a third 3-2 count in the inning for Simpson in 4 batters. As the pitch count going up a little bit. Pitch number 54 coming up. Payoff yet again here. Swung on and missed, strike 3. As Smith goes down swinging back-to-back Ks for Simpson. And there is 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. As Simpson has done a fantastic job after getting 2 on in scoring position with nobody out to now be 1 out away from a scoreless bottom of the third. Looking for a Houdini-esque escape act here. First pitch to Alvarez. High fly ball into right field. LG Castillo is under it. He will make the catch, and that is out number 3. Runners on second and third with nobody out, and Garrett Simpson strikes out Castillo and Smith and gets Alvarez to fly out, as he is now throwing 3 scoreless. 1-0 Evansville. Heading to the 4th on the Otters Digital Network. Well, somehow the Otters are still up 1-0. It was a walk and an error. Sanford ended up taking third. Brandon took second. Had runners at second and third with nobody out, but the top 2 guys in the lineup, Victor Castillo and Sawyer Smith, both strike out, and Jose Alvarez flies out to right field on the first pitch in order to keep it a 1-0 ball game. So an insanely good escape act there from Simpson. See if the Otters can extend their lead here in the top of the 4th against Vales, as they had a RBI ground out by Sam Linscott score J.J. Cruz from third. And that's the difference in this one. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for Evansville. 0 runs on 1 hit, no errors for Gateway. First pitch to Dennis Pierce is a breaking ball called strike 1. Pierce struck out swinging in the first inning. It's the only strikeout Vales has today. 0-1, another good breaking ball. Hits the bottom half of the zone for strike 2. Quickly down in the count here is Pierce. Bales kicks in, fires. That one's in the turf. Good scoop, though, from Alvarez, and it's 1-2. Bales, while he has a 2.51 ERA, he has given up a homer in half of his games this season, 6 of 12. Definitely a chance here to hit something maybe opposite field for Dennis Pierce. We've seen him do it before. Maybe get number 11 over that short porch in right field. 0-2 to 3-2, though, as a good couple of takes from Dennis Pierce has run the count full here to lead off the 4th. A payoff here from Vales. It's getting darker here at Arsenal BG. That's kind of what happens when the sun goes down. Grounder over to short. Smith throw on to first is in time for out number 1. A lot of defense being played by Smith and Thomas. Both of them combined have gotten 7 grounders heading their way. As with 1 out in the 4th, that'll bring up Logan Brown. The first pitch from Vales is a slow roller. That's going to go foul. Had a lot of spin on it as it stayed fair for a couple of bounces and then ends up going off to the right side. So 0-1 here for Brown. Grounded out to Dale Thomas at second base in his first at-bat. Currently sitting on an 8-game hitting streak. He's hitting at a 371, and he's going to be the starter in the All-Star game at the catcher position for the Midwest Conference. The 0-1. Popped up into foul ground. That's going to stay in play. Heading over there is Horn, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Now, quick 2 outs here in the top of the 4th for Vales. LG Castillo will stand in. Castillo, the Buffalo native, 26 years old. His birthday's coming up soon, and the Otters have a lot of July birthdays. Grounder over to third. It's going to stay fair. Horn long throw over to first in time for out number 3, and it's another efficient inning for Vales as he gets another 1-2-3 inning, his third of the day. But the Otters scored 1 in the third, and they lead at 1-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th on the Otters Digital Network. Fourth innings brought to you by Sheet Metal Workers Local 20. For 138 years, sheet metal workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. Izzy the Grizzly, the mascot for the Gateway Grizzlies, just kind of standing around in the concourse, doing what he needs to do, helping out fans and such. Grizzlies play here in Sauget, which Sauget is named after the owner of the Grizzlies, Rich Sauget. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Technically, Sauget's population only 141, as it is south of East St. Louis, across the river from, I guess, West St. Louis. It's just a normal St. Louis. 26th season in the Frontier League. Arsenal BG Ballpark has the 3rd highest capacity in the West Division, as well as the Midwest Conference at 6,000. 7th highest capacity in the league. It says right field is 301. I don't know if I believe that. Looks more like 175 to me. 3-0 quickly here against Bryson Horn, who leads off the bottom of the 4th. It's Horn, Thomas, and Orff. Simpson trying to avoid walking his 3rd batter of the day. Swing and a miss on a high 3-0 pitch. Would have been ball 4. And Horn ends up staying in it here, makes it 3-1. 3-1 from Simpson. Fouls it back, and it's 3-2. Well, definitely not going to look the best for Horn here if he swung at a high 3-0 pitch and ends up striking out. Does have 40 Ks, though, on the season. 3-2 is low for ball 4. So Simpson has walked a batter in every inning as the leadoff man reaches on a walk for the second straight time, but now it ties the season high in walks in a game for Simpson. Runner on first, nobody out for Dale Thomas. First pitch from Simpson. High fly ball into left field. Robertson is there. He'll make the catch for out number 1. That's the first time we've seen Robertson on the defensive side of things today. Not too many fly balls being hit out to the outfield on either side today. 1 out, that'll bring up Brendan Orff. Orff grounded out to Logan Brown at first in his first at-bat, as he'll take strike 1. Orff, 13th round draft pick by the Blue Jays in 2023, ended up being released by the Vancouver Canadians a month ago today, signed with Gateway on June 25th. Now in his 12th game with the Grizzlies. Fouls it away. That's going to get way into the concourse. Not too many people here, at least on the left side, so not really. Everyone sort of tuning into the game on that side of things. A couple people up in the right field lawn beyond the short porch. 0-2. Little high fastball. Orff had a .216 average in 33 games with the Vancouver Canadians this year before being released. Included a .450 average in June before getting released, but he had a .152 average in April, .167 in May. So that one will just miss outside. He went 7 for 46 in April and struck out multiple times in each of the first 7 games of the season. So the K was definitely an issue for him in the minor leagues. There's a fly ball into left field. Robertson is there to make the catch yet again. So he gets back-to-back fly outs for the first 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Darrell Lee will stand in for his second at-bat. He grounded out to Salvaggio at short back in the 2nd inning. First pitch here from Simpson. Still on first is Horn after the leadoff walk. A fly ball into left field. There's Robertson yet again, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So Robertson, after getting no action, catches all 3 outs in the bottom of the 4th. We'll head to the 5th, 1-0 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network. Fifth inning, 1-0. 5th inning, 1-0 Otters at a very low-scoring game here to start off. Gage Vales has thrown 4 innings, has given up the 1 run on 2 hits. Simpson has been pitching great. 4 scoreless with just the 1 hit. Single by Sawyer Smith in the 1st inning. Does have 3 walks, though, as Robertson leads it off. Salvaggio behind him and J.J. Cruz. Top three in the top of the fifth inning, as that one will miss. It's 2-0 to Robertson. Oh, some good news coming out of Otters camp, or I guess technically York Revolution camp, but former Otter Braden Scott has gotten his contract purchased by the Atlanta Braves. So a big congrats to him, as that one's fouled away for strike one. He was with York this season in the Atlantic League. He had a 4 ERA, led the league in strikeouts with 104 in 81 innings. So big congrats to him. He was with the Otters last season. 3.29 ERA and 128 and 2/3. As that one is a base hit, it's going to get all the way to the wall. Robertson is heading into second base, and he's got himself a leadoff double. Third hit of the day for the Otters, and B-Rob has his 5th double of the year. So continuing to swing a hot bat is Robertson. Remember when he went 2 for 23 to start off the season? Yeah, he's now hitting .285, and he's been a big part of the offense for the Otters. Good to know that 2 for 23 was just a little slump before we saw. Well, I guess what we're seeing here with Robertson is he's a good hitter. He's a very good hitter. Salvaggio takes low for ball one. So still talking about Braden Scott. 157 strikeouts for Evansville last season before moving to York for a couple games. Was with Evansville as well in 2024. Had a 4.17 ERA and 121 innings. Struck out 128. He was recently as well there in 2023, but it was also in the Blue Jays organization. So this is his second stint in minor league ball. Congrats to Braden Scott. That is ripped into deep left field. It's going to get off of the Pepsi sign as Robertson will come in to score. Salvaggio throw to second is not in time, and back-to-back doubles as TJ Salvaggio brings in Blake Robertson, and it's 2-0 Otters here in the 5th inning. That was a pitch at the knees of TJ, and he takes that all the way into the left field corner. Trading places with Robertson. Another run comes in for Evansville. It's 2-0. Back-to-back doubles to start off the top of the 5th inning. Now 2 runs on 4 hits. Salvaggio, his 11th double of the year. I'm seeing more of him in the All-Star game. J.J. Cruz will stand in. He already has a hit. He flies one into shallow left field. Lee is coming after it, and he will make the running grab for out number 1. Heading back to second is Salvaggio. Good running grab in left field by Darrell Lee after he's gotten a lot of action out there in this inning. Cohen Wilbanks already has a hit today. As the opposite field single. Chance to bring in a run here. First pitch. A little low for ball 1. So Vales has now given up 2 earned runs. 5th time in 12 appearances this season that he's given up 2 earned or more. Getting that season high is 4 back on June 21st. He'll step off. Only 1 strikeout, which would be so far the least he's had in a start this season. Opponent's hitting .268 with runners in scoring position against him. Over to first base, Orf will take it to the bag himself for out number 2, as taking third is Salvaggio. And he's 90 feet away from extending the lead yet again. Well, just like Ben Gregory, Vales is also a very good ground-out pitcher. We've seen that in loads today. 45.9% ground-out distribution for outs. 30 on the strikeouts and 24.1 on the flyouts. First pitch in the turf for ball one, back to the top of the lineup for the third time. Sam Linscott has 2 groundouts to short, but one of them did bring in a run. Now up to 19 ribbies on the season. Little low yet again, and it's 2-0. Vales, 25-year-old from Marietta, Georgia, a little outside of Atlanta. It's where the Braves play, Truist Park. Third season with Gateway. That one is going to get past Alvarez, and heading home, coming in to score is Salvaggio. A wild pitch scores TJ, and it's 3-0 Otters in the 5th inning. Chance for Vales to get out of that, but now it's 3-0 and 2 runs in. Now it's into a little uncharted territory. Second outing where 3 runs have been given up by him. As that's inside for ball 4, and a 4-pitch walk will be issued to Linscott. Monty Jones, man on first with 2 outs. 2 runs already in here in the top of the 5th inning. With how Garrett Simpson's pitching, this is a relatively comfortable lead. And Gateway haven't had too many comeback victories this season. Over to short. Smith has no play. Everyone's safe. That was a great location on the opposite field infield single for Amani Jones. And the inning will continue 2 on with 2 outs for Dennis Pierce. The Otters 2-out hitting starting to show its face a little bit here. Dennis Pierce 0 for 2. Has a strikeout swinging and a ground out to short. First pitch is inside. It's 1-0. Vales last season 4.75 ERA, 89 innings. Played 2 games against the Otters. One was just an inning. Scoreless inning on May 9th. Then on June 26th, he pitched 6 innings, gave up only 1 earned. Fly ball, right side of the infield. Orf heading into foul ground. He'll make the catch for out number 3. But 2 runs come in for the Otters. The RBI double from TJ Salvaggio. He ends up scoring on a wild pitch as the Otters have a 3-0 lead halfway home on the Otters Digital Network. Fifth inning is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottomless apps are now here. Dine and only visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. 4 scoreless for Simpson, as it is 3-0 Otters. Bottom of the 5th, it'll be Sanford, Brennan, and Castillo, the 8-9-1 guys leading off in the bottom of the 5th as Simpson tries to go for another scoreless frame. No action in either bullpen yet today, as Vales is going to need a long outing just because of how taxed the bullpen is. First pitch is outside for ball one. Sanford walked, ended up stealing third, but that was when there were runners on second and third with nobody out, and Simpson was able to get out of it scoreless. So he was on third with nobody out, did not end up touching the plate as that one's called a strike, and it's 1-1. Sanford from Berwick, Louisiana, was with LSU for a couple of years before transferring 3 times, UT Arlington, New Orleans, and Ole Miss. Fly ball into left field. That one is going to stay fair. It's going to one-hop over the short wall in left field, and Mitchell Sanford has a leadoff double. No good opposite field hitting from Sanford. Seems like he's been hitting the Otters quite well in this series. He has now 4 hits, but 3 of them doubles and a 3-run homer as well. Just loves getting extra base hits against the Otters. Cole Brannon, runner on second, nobody out. First pitch is called a strike. Brannon is currently at an 0 for 1, reached on an error by Simpson. Ended up stealing second, did not advance further from there. Hitting at a 240 in the 9 spot today. 5th season in the Frontier League. A little high on the fastball, makes it 1-1. Brandon, a second-round draft pick. He's from Elko, Georgia. Elko, very small, very small. Looks like there's about 5 streets there. Maybe a population of 100 people, maybe. That might be being a little bit of an over guess there. It's a very small place. Throw back to second is not in time. A second-round draft pick, though. He signed for a lot. He signed for $1,300,000. Ended up hitting 187 in 296 games in the Red Sox organization before getting released in 2022. That one will miss. It's 2-1. This season, Brandon's hitting 240. Last year, he hit 253. Had 1 pitching appearance that was against the Otters on August 24th. He threw a scoreless inning against Evansville. Surprised he didn't pitch yesterday. Fly ball into left center field. Robertson will call off Linscott and make the catch. Tagging for third is Sanford. Throw there is not in time, as Sanford almost overslid it, but ends up getting to third safely. He's 90 feet away from scoring the first run of the day for Gateway. Oh, Victor Castillo coming up. There was an interesting thing that happened on Saturday with Castillo and Gage Vales. Gage Vales is having a child, and Victor Castillo helped out with the gender reveal back on Saturday. He was leading off, and he had a pink and a blue arm sleeve, and whichever one he kept on for the at-bat was going to reveal the gender of the child. And he had the pink, took the pink one off, ended up showing the blue one to the bullpen where Vales and his family was, and now the Vales family is having a baby boy. So congratulations to the Vales family. It's always nice. It's always a nice little gesture having your teammate help you out with the gender reveal. I've seen it a couple times already in the MLB this season. 2-0 here to Castillo. Good breaking ball. Outside part of the zone, it's 2-1. Castillo 0 for 2, grounded to short, struck out swinging in the third. Runner on third, 1 out, 2-1. Just high, and it's ball 3. Walk would put runners at the corners with 1 out for Sawyer Smith, who also struck out in his last at-bat. Three-one. Fly ball into deep center field. Should be plenty deep for the tag from third. Linscott makes the catch. And coming in is Sanford from third. The sac fly from Castillo puts Gateway on the board. It's 3-1. Is out number 2. As Simpson gives up his first run, but still 4 2/3 with only the 1 run. Solid day, and he's most likely not finished here if he gets Sawyer Smith out. Pitch number 80. First pitch just misses outside for ball 1. Smith is 1 for 2, has one of the 2 hits, had the only hit before Sanford's double to lead off this inning. Sanford ends up coming around to score as they get 1 back after having runners at second and third, nobody out, not scoring. 2-0 here. High fly ball right near the Gateway Grizzlies logo, as making the catch is Logan Brown for out number 3. Gateway is on the board as we head to the 6th. It's 3-1 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network. So it seems the pitch count is getting to be a little bit of an issue for Simpson, as the Otters do have somebody warming up in the bullpen. It's Anthony Tomczak first. Has not pitched yet in this series, so he's going to get some play as the first guy out of the pen. When that will be, not too sure. But Logan Brown's leading off here against Vales. It's Brown, Castillo, and Robertson. There's a lot of time still on the pitch clock. You can see it says 35 seconds, but they're still just going to go. Now, Logan Brown's ready to go. He is ready to go. Vales has given up 3 runs as the first pitch is a little inside for ball 1. Now, Vales so far is on pitch number 75, so this inning, if it goes a little long, they might have to take him out as well. That'll miss, and it's 2-0 to Logan Brown. He has gone 0 for 2. Grounder to second base, a pop out into foul ground over to Horn at third. 2-0. Grounder to second base. Thomas will lob it to first in time for out number 1. Well, the Otters have scored the majority of their runs in the 6th inning, 62 of them. but they've also given up 62 runs, which is the most. It's a little bit of a weird coincidence. Both of their highest outputs in terms of giving up runs and scoring runs in an inning are both the sixth and both 62 runs each. Well, maybe LG Castillo can hit another homer and put them over the top here. He's got 4 homers in his last 5 games, 2 on the third against Joliet, 1 in game 1 of the doubleheader Sunday, then 1 yesterday. He's up to 7. Broken bat, grounder to deep short. Smith throw on a couple of hops to first. It's not in time, and LG beats it out. Infield single is the 6th hit of the day for Evansville, as it's always going to be a rough play for Smith. He was basically in the shallow left field grass. And the throw possibly slowed down in the turf after it made a couple of hops, so allows Castillo to reach. He's 6 for 9 on stolen bases. So definitely could be prone to going here with Blake Robertson up. He hit a double to lead off the 5th inning. Ended up coming around to score. First pitch misses for ball 1. 1 out, runner on first. Otters trying to get that run back that Gateway scored in the bottom of the 5th inning. Get themselves back up by 3 runs. 1-0 from Vales. Runner goes. Throw to second is in time for out number 2. So Castillo gets caught stealing for the 2nd time in this series. He's now 6 for 10, and bases are now empty with 2 outs. So that pitch was called a ball, makes it 2-0 here against Robertson. The 2-0 here from Vales. There's a base hit into left field. Now Robertson has 2 hits today. Multi-hit game number 9. And he's on first with 2 down for TJ Salvaggio. Might have brought in a run if Castillo stole second there, but unfortunately, it's a very good throw from Alvarez. Alvarez, the all-star selection, also because he plays a very good defense behind the dish. First pitch called a strike to Salvaggio. Vales played for Kennesaw State to start his collegiate career, transferred to Georgia Highlands, and was with Tennessee Wesleyan for a couple seasons to finish his collegiate career before signing with Gateway in 2024. He had a 3.34 ERA, 67 and a third innings. Tennessee Wesleyan in Athens, Tennessee, a little bit northeast of Chattanooga. Had a little bit of a worse ERA, but more innings in 2023. He had a 3.95 ERA, 84 and a third. Foul tip is going to get into the glove for strike 3, and Vales strikes out Salvaggio to end the top of the 6th inning. His 2nd K, as the Otters get 2 hits but don't score. 3-1, though. They're still leading as we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Otters Digital Network. Sixth inning is brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need in the service you deserve since 1914. We also have a pitching change that's brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. This entire game is brought to you by a lot of things. Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-4759K. Garrett Simpson is out of the game as he finishes with 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. If this score holds, he will get his 6th win of the season. Anthony Tomczak will try to keep the lead as he's the first guy out of the pen for Evansville. He'll face off against Alvarez, Horn, and Thomas here in the 5th. 2 righties out of the top 3. Why they might have the righty in. The Otters will most likely try and throw Eckes here as he's lefty against a lineup that's full of them. First pitch called a strike, 94 for strike 1 on the fastball. Alvarez is 0 for 1 with a walk. Flew out to right field in his other at-bat. Grounder foul over to the dugout, the bullpen of Gateway, where there is somebody warming. It's Andrew Ronnie that is warming in the bullpen for Gateway. Oh-2 from Tomczak. That's fouled back, 95. Tomczak has a lot of good speed on his pitches. 25-year-old. First season with the Otters. He has a sinker, slider, 4-seam, changeup, 4-pitch mix for him. And there's the breaking ball. That's called strike 3, and Tomczak gets out number 1. Slider gets called strike 3 as it's perfectly located by Tomczak, and it's a good at-bat against the Frontier League All-Star to get out number 1. Bryson Horn will stand in. That is into left field. It'll veer away foul into the lawn, and it's 0-1. Tomczak consistently going 94, 95 on the fastball here. 0-1 to Horn. Swing and a miss. That time the changeup, and it's 0-2. Changing up the speeds a little bit there. Tomczak, this is only his 4th appearance of the season. He has a 9 ERA in 4 innings, which is a little bit of a short sample size because in Game 2 of the doubleheader against Joliet on Sunday, he threw a very nice 2 hitless innings. It was just the 4 runs he gave up in his first, skewing the ERA a little bit, but he's been good. 1-2. Foul tip, and it was not able to get caught by Wilbanks. Another one at 95, and it's going to remain at 1-2 here against Horn, who's 0 for 1. Lined out to Salvaggio to end the first inning, walk to lead off the 4th. Now up here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Another 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Tomczak. One looking, one swinging. As the fastball blew it by Horn. Out number 2 here in the 6th. Otters with a 3-1 lead here. They scored 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th. Gateway responded with 1 in the bottom half, and that's where we stand now in the bottom of the 6th. Dale Thomas will stand in for his 3rd at-bat. That is fouled away. Foul ball brought to you by His Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. And it's 0-1. Tomczak was in the Mariners organization after being a 15th round draft pick back in 2019. Was injured all of last year. Big whiff for Thomas. It's 0-2. One strike away from getting the side out here on K's. 0-2. That one will get away from Wilbanks as that one's ball one. Luckily, nobody on base, so it doesn't matter too much. Makes it 1-2. This is probably the best we've seen Tomczak pitch this season. Of course, short sample size, but he's been great. There's a grounder into right field and a base hit, and Thomas catches up to 94, opposite field single. Now Thomas gets on base with the single. Third hit of the day for Gateway. It was a very good location on the pitch, so definitely wasn't the fault of Tomczak. That's just good hitting from Thomas. First pitch is fouled away by Brendan Orff. Orff has a grounder to Logan Brown, a fly out to Robertson in left. The 0-1. Thomas over at first after the single. Here's the pitch from Tomczak. It's a high fly ball into right field. Castillo is under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. Scoreless bottom of the 6th for Tomczak with 2 strikeouts. As we will hit the 7th, 3-1 Otts on the Otters Digital Network. Seventh inning is brought to you by Jacob's Pub. Jacob's Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters in the Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays at 607 North Main Street. Is tomorrow first? No, tomorrow's not a First Friday. First Friday was on the 2nd. Back when the Otters... Or no, the 3rd, back when the Otters were playing Joliet. I was looking at the wrong day. Andrew Ronnie is the first guy out of the bullpen for Gateway as Bales finishes with a solid 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. But if this score holds, he'll be in line for the loss as the bullpen will try to take care of business here and keep the deficit at 2. J.J. Cruz leads off, and then Wilbanks, and then Lynn Scott. 8-9-1 here to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Be nice to get some insurance. So that one's fouled away, makes it 0-2. Still have yet to see a cruise missile for a long time. That one's got about 60 feet of the 60 feet 6 inches, makes it 1-2. 1 homer for Cruz. That was back on May 9th. He has not hit a homer since. He's hitting the ball well. Already has a hit today. There's a fly ball into left center field. Running after it is Brannon, and making the running catch is Lee out in left center field. Looked a lot more promising off the bat, but Cruz ends up flying out for out number 1. Cohen Wilbanks is 1 for 2. He'll step in. Singled in the 3rd, grounded out to Orf in the 5th inning. First pitch called a strike. Andrew Ronnie has a 6.86 ERA, 19 2/3 innings. He threw a scoreless frame yesterday, but just like everybody else yesterday, he did walk a man. 15 walks, tied their single game franchise record with a game back in June of 2021 against Windy City. Gateway pitching is actually on pace for a 576 strikeouts. They have 294 right now. Their team record in walks is 471, so they're on pace to blow past that. 2-1 is fouled away. The Frontier League record is 506, which was by the 2022 Empire State Grays, who I don't know if we've talked about them too much on the broadcast, but they went 6-90. They're looking to walk 70 more guys than the team that went 6-90. That's how you know the location's been a little off for Gateway this season. Of course, first in the Frontier League in walks. 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. First K of the day for Ronnie, and that's out number 2 in the 7th. 3rd strikeout overall for Gateway pitching, and the first 2 are retired here. That'll bring up Sam Linscott back at the top of the order. 0 for 2. Has a RBI and a walk, though. Low 93 on the fastball makes it 1-0. Ronnie, last season at East Tennessee State, went 2.67 ERA in 27 innings. Ended up having a great season. 14 scoreless outings. Had 6 straight between late February and mid-March. That was after a 7.64 ERA in 2024. Check swing over. Did go around. And it's 1-2. Linscott taking a little bit of his sweet time before entering in for the 1-2 pitch. Ronnie going a little quick here, trying to get the 1-2-3. His 1-2 pitch is fouled back, and Linscott will stay alive. Ronnie, 23 years old, standing at 6'3", 210. He's from Athens, Tennessee, so not too far away from East Tennessee State. This is the farthest away he's played ball. And another sword, as that's strike 3, back-to-back Ks for Ronnie, as he has a great 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Time to stretch here at Arsenal BG Ballpark. Evansville still up 3-1 on the Otters Digital Network. Seventh inning stretch is done and dusted here. As we are in the bottom half of the seventh inning, Darrell Lee, Mitchell Sanford, Cole Brandon leading off the bottom three in the order against Tom Zach, who's back out there for another frame after a very nice scoreless bottom of the sixth. Somebody warming in the bullpen for Gateway. Not too many options left already for Gateway, but I think it's Matt Hickey in the bullpen. First pitch is hit in the air to center field. Under it is Lynn Scott. Has to wait a little bit for it to come down, but he'll make the catch. And one pitch equals one out to start the seventh for Tom Zach. Now that'll bring up Sanford, who's reached twice today. He walked in the third, doubled in the fifth, ended up coming around to score the only run of the day for Gateway. Sanford's been hitting the ball well against the Otters this season. His LSU couple seasons to start off his collegiate career. He was actually teammates with Dylan Cruz at LSU in 2021. He had his best season, though, with Ole Miss last season. He hit .317. Couple of awards, ABCA Rawlings All-South Region first team selection, and made the all-tournament team in the Oxford Regional that was hosted by Ole Miss. 0-2 quickly here against Sanford. Has a strikeout in his last 15 games. Ripped foul. Goes off the netting. Another 95 on the fastball. Sanford also has 18 games with multiple strikeouts, including 3 of his last 5. Another 0-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. 96. Blows it by him. And Sanford now has a strikeout in his last 16 games. Third K for Tom Zach. First 2 retired here. That'll bring up Cole Brandon as Tom Zach continues to pitch the ball insanely well in relief today. Cole Brandon is 0 for 2. Did reach on an error in the third, but flew out to left field in the fifth. First pitch hits the zone for strike 1. Well, even with the rough first outing, Tom Zach is seeming to be a insanely good find for the Otters. 0-1. Fouled back, gets 0-2. Calling his hitter's timeout is Brandon. Tom Zach 2024, he split time between the Modesto Nuts in Single A and the High A Everett Aqua Sox. Sent up to Everett after just a few games with Modesto. Ended up having a 9.45 ERA with Everett the rest of that season. Did have an ERA under 2 in July. Another 0-2 here from Tom Zach. A little high. Fastball. Yet again at 95. 2024 with Gateway, Brandon hit .211. 2023 hit .230. He was also with the Florence Yalls and the Washington Wild Things. So he's spent a lot of time just around the Midwest Conference. Grounder down the first base line, foul. And it will remain at 1-2. Brandon has had 348 Frontier League games up to this season. Now he's in number 49 this year. He's at 397 as that one's outside for ball 2. A couple of those very outside pitches for Tom Zach, but being able to locate 95 is pretty special. Pretty special. 2-2. High fly ball left side of the infield. J.J. Cruz will look over, but he'll run out of room. And it will remain at 2-2 after the foul ball. Brandon, drafted in the second round, was committed to Georgia Southern before he got drafted. He's going to go there for college, but got drafted out of the Westfield School. Another 2-2 and another foul ball. Brandon doing a good job of staying alive, taking all the fastballs here. I think the last 4 have all been fastballs. This is where it's sort of a game of strategy. See if he comes in with the breaking stuff now. That is crushed. That is way out of here. And Brandon, after a very long at-bat, hits a solo homer. Turns on 95, and Brandon hits his 7th homer of the year. And it's a 1-run game, 3-2. .100. That went 352. It was definitely more of a line drive shot as Brandon makes it even closer here for Gateway. Seems as though right after Brandon hit it, Tom Zach knew that that one was going out and that he might have missed his location. That was pretty much nearly middle on the fastball. As the home run makes it 3-2. Now back to the top of the order in Castillo. First pitch grounder over to second base. Throw to first from Amani Jones in time for out number 3. And that will do it for the 7th inning. The Grizzlies get a run, though. Solo homer for Cole Brandon. Makes it 3-2 as we head to the 8th. Otters lead it by 1 on the Otters Digital Network. Eighth inning brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember, who can help with all of your pest control needs? McMahon can. Evan Patoka here with you for the rest of this one as we hit the top of the 8th. 1 run, the solo homer for Cole Brandon. Ended up making it a 3-2 Otters lead instead of 3-1. New pitcher into the game, though, for Gateway is Matt Hickey. He has a 3.68 ERA in 22 innings. As he's looking to keep it a 1-run game. He threw 2 scoreless against Quebec with 4 strikeouts back on Sunday. He'll face against Amani Jones, Dennis Pearson, Logan Brown. First pitch is an off-speed called strike 1. It's a good scoreless frame for Andrew Ronnie. He's the first guy out of the pen. Now it's Hickey. Fouled back to the netting. Would have drilled me in the face if there was no net. Hickey has a four-seam fastball, slider, curveball, changeup mix. He's pitched twice against the Otters this season. 0-2. Swing and a miss. And it's strike three as Jones goes down swinging. The third straight strikeout for Gateway pitching, but the first for Hickey as that's out number one here in the top of the eighth. Looking like Alex Valdez in the bullpen for the Otters. Most likely going to get the eighth here. First pitch to Pierce is going to hit the zone for strike one. May 21st, Hickey pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up one run. It wasn't earned, but he still earned that loss. That's his only loss of the season. As that one will hit the zone, and it's quickly 0-2 here against Pierce. May 26th, against the Otters, he threw 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. No earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. That'll miss away. Well, for a Gateway pitching staff that walks a lot of batters, Hickey is one of the guys that doesn't. He is 4 walks compared to 21 strikeouts. 1-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. And it's back-to-back Ks for Hickey to start the eighth, 4 straight for Gateway pitching. And 2 outs now for Logan Brown. Logan Brown's 0 for 3 today. His first time facing off against a reliever as well. Grounder over to first. Thomas will flip it. Sorry, that was Orf who will flip it back to the pitcher Hickey, and it's a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Last 7 Otters have been retired here, as back-to-back 1-2-3s from Ronnie and Hickey are keeping Gateway in this one. Alex Valdez will get the bottom of the eighth, 3-2 Evansville on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the eighth. New pitcher into the game is Alex Valdez. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard yet again. We haven't really had too many chances to do it today. Schaumburg shutting out Windy City 6-0 in the eighth. Joliet is beating Mississippi 6-1 in the seventh. Brockton's up on Quebec 6-5. It was 5-0. Quebec is making a valiant effort at a comeback. Washington's beating Florence 12-5. Troyes scored 7 in the eighth, and they're now up 14-3 against Tri-City. Lake Erie is coming back against Sussex County. They were down 4-1. They're now up 5-4. And New York beat Down East 7-5 in their 7-inning game 2. Even though Down East was down 7-1, they ended up scoring 4 in the bottom of the 7th to at least make things close. First pitch is swung on and missed by Sawyer Smith. Alex Valdez into the game. He has a 4.81 ERA, 24 1/3 innings. There was scoreless frame earlier in the series as that one's popped up left side of the infield. J.J. Cruz calls off Salvaggio, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. All the high leverage guys getting some action. Coaching staff trusting Anthony Tomczak, and even though he did give up the 1 run on the homer from Brannon, the Otters are still in the lead. So technically he did do his job as the first pitch is fouled away. Makes it 0-1. Besides the home run, Tomczak very impressive on the pitching side of things as he threw those 2 innings, struck out 3. Reached up to 96 on the strikeout of Mitchell Sanford. Bat breaks. Roller over to short. Salvaggio. Throw to first in time, and that's out number 2. Now the Otters just need 4 outs without giving up a run, but with that short porch, you never know what's going to happen. Julio Ortiz is warming in the bullpen. So those were Hickey and Ortiz were the only 2 guys that didn't pitch out of the pen in yesterday's game. And so, of course, they're going to both get some work here today. They'll get the top of the 9th, 0-1 here to Horn. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. So Horn quickly down in the count 0-2 as Valdez tries to throw 1-2-3. Very efficient 1-2-3 if he's able to get him here. 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Horn breaks his bat. As the strikeout of Horn by Valdez makes it a very efficient bottom of the 8th. 1-2-3 as we'll head to the 9th. A great performance from Valdez. Let's take a look at the replay here on the broken bat. There we go. 3-2 Otters on the Otters Digital Network. Top of the 9th, Otters looking for some insurance as they're only up 1. They are still up, though. It's 3-2. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Evansville. On the other side, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Gateway. The new pitcher in for the Grizzlies is Julio Ortiz. He has pitched once against the Otters back on May 19th. He threw an inning, a scoreless one, as he is one of those guys that throws insanely fast, but 16 walks compared to 26 Ks. He has a 3.57 ERA, so not actually pitching too bad so far this season, but we have not seen him yet in this series. He has not pitched in a week since the 2nd of July against Mississippi. He gave up a run, walked 2, struck out 3, and earned his first save of the season, and his only save up until this point. He'll be facing off against LG Castillo, Blake Robertson, and TJ Salvaggio to start. Ortiz in his first season with Gateway. He signed back on April 3rd. As Otto Jones is now behind the plate doing the catching. Jose Alvarez out of the game. Nate Wolgemuth is in the bullpen. He's going to get the 9th. It's a bit of an interesting decision because Junior Serta, he's the usual closer. He has 11 saves. He is starting tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, you heard that right. He's starting tomorrow. So Wolgemuth is going to be in the closer role today, and maybe for the foreseeable future if things go well with starter Serta. Tomorrow it's looking like Serta against Jordan Caesar for Sussex County. Tomorrow that game will be at 6:35 at Bossy Field. First pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. LG Castillo has a single and 2 groundouts. He's 1 for 3. Yo, 1. There's a fly ball into deep right field. Going back is Victor Castillo, and he'll make the catch. That was out number 1. Victor Castillo getting into that part of the yard where you can't really see, at least from up here in the press box, but that is going to be out number 1 here in the top of the 9th. Looked like it was getting close to another opposite field homer. Didn't quite have the legs. First pitch is fouled away by Blake Robertson. He's 2 for 3 today. He has a double in the 5th, came around to score, singled in the 6th. It's not faced off against a reliever quite yet. The Otters, 8 straight of them have been retired now. Another one fouled off pretty much to the same spot over to the left side. Makes it 0-2 against Robertson. Ortiz, 25 years old, from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. Signed a minor league deal with the Rays back in 2018, but ended up moving to the Blue Jays organization. There's a fly ball into deep right field, and Blake Robertson has a homer in back-to-back games. Number 5 on the year, and some big insurance in the 9th. As Robertson takes advantage of the short porch. 4-2 Otters. And a huge, now 2-run lead. Makes it more comfortable for Woogamuth in the bullpen. 3 hits, 3 for 4 today for Robertson. Third 3-hit game of the season for Robertson. His other 2, one was on the 17th of June against Lake Erie, the other one on the 20th against Mississippi, as a pitch clock violation is going to be called on Ortiz, so that'll make it 1-1. A huge home run there for Blake Robertson. 1-1. Just misses. He's throwing 96, 97 now. Ortiz is. 2-1. That one will miss outside. It's 3-1. Ortiz now throwing a little faster than before, but now missing his spots. 3-1. Swing and a miss, 97. And we saw this back in late May against Gateway with Ortiz. Doesn't pitch much, but he pitches fast. He throws the ball hard. Payoff. That will miss and get past Otto Jones for ball 4. Salvaggio didn't know it for a second, but it will be ball 4, and Salvaggio will take first. Well, after 15 walks yesterday, only 2 for Gateway pitching today, which is a sign of good progress. J.J. Cruz, runner on first, 1 out, 1 run in here in the top of the 9th. There's 97, that's hitting the zone for strike 1. Cruz has a single in the 3rd, came around to score. Scored the first run of the day. 0-1. Fouled away. 96 right down the middle. And it's 0-2. 1 for 3. Cruz has 2 flyouts to left field after the single. Four runs now on 8 hits for the Otters. 1 error. 3 outs away from getting a victory, and that home run by Robertson, a huge insurance run. As that will miss a little high, and it's 1-2. Throw back to first, not in time. Ortiz last season was with the Vancouver Canadians in High A with the Blue Jays. 7.71 ERA, 39 2/3. He had 10.7 walks per nine. So the walks in the location were a big issue for him. 1-2. Fouled away yet again. He had a 2.08 ERA in August, which was his best year, but he had a bad couple of months to start off the season. 12.91 ERA in April, 11.3 in May. Runner goes. That one's low. Throw to second base is not in time as Salvaggio will swipe second base. Salvaggio stays perfect. 13 for 13 this season. Now he's into scoring position with 1 out. That one was 98. 2-2. That is inside, also at 98. 3-2. Walk would put 2 on with 1 out for Wilbanks. Salvaggio now at second base with 1 out after the stolen bag. Swing and a miss for strike 3 as Ortiz strikes out Cruz. And that's out number 2 here in the top of the 9th. It's just crazy seeing somebody here in the Frontier League throwing 98. I feel like that's just like a huge rarity in the league. Because if you throw 98, you're bound to get some sort of contract purchase. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Wilbanks has a single in the third, but a ground out to first and a strikeout swinging makes him 1 for 3. Salvaggio dancing a little bit too far off of second base for Ortiz's liking as he steps off. Otters head home after this one and face off against Sussex County. That is called a strike. It's 0-2. Ortiz, a pretty menacing presence on the mound, even without the speed he throws at. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 99. 99? Oh my goodness. Back-to-back Ks for Ortiz. Gets both Cruz and Wilbanks swinging. As we will head to the bottom of the 9th. Nate Woolgamuth will try to get his first save of the season. And he's got 2 runs to work with here on the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the 9th, 4-2 Otters have the lead, and they're 3 outs away from going 14 games over 500 for the first time this season. Not to mention taking another series on the road and taking another series against Gateway. Nate Wolgamuth into the game, trying to get his first save of the season. When he pitched with the Otters, he was the closer last season. He had 4 saves. He only pitched in 8 innings before he got his contract purchased. He was a perfect 4 for 4 in save attempts, so has not blown a save yet with the Otters. Only got 2 saves this season with Asheville. High Asheville tourists in the Astros organization. As before a pitch is even thrown, Dale Thomas is going to call his hitters timeout. Well, with Serta usually pitching the 9th inning, as well as the bullpen being very nice, Otters have only given up 12 runs this season in the 9th inning. 1-0. Big swing and a miss. Makes it 1-1 here. Dale Thomas swinging for the fences a little bit. 1-1. Grounder to first. Logan Brown will step on the bag. He was positioned perfectly there for the opposite field grounder. And that's out number 1. Wolgamuth is in his 3rd outing with the Otters this season. Pitched on the 3rd against Joliet. 2/3 scoreless, 2 strikeouts through a scoreless frame back on yesterday. First pitch is going to miss. Orf 0 for 3 is a couple flyouts. A grounder to Logan Brown at first base. The 1-0 pitch. Good. Breaking ball called strike 1. Wolgamuth signed back on the 3rd. Pitched in the same day against Joliet. Just inside, it's 2-1 here to Orf. Gateway heading to Schaumburg tomorrow. Play the Boomers before the All-Star break. There's going to be a lot of stakes in that series for who wants to fight for that last wild card spot. So that one's fouled away. It's 2-2 here to Orf. Two is called strike 3. Perfectly placed lower half of the zone at 94. And going down looking is Orf. Gateway down to their last out here in Game 3 of the series. The Otters in their last 2 series have lost the first game and have come back to win the next 2. They're 1 out away from doing it for the 3rd straight time today. Darrell Lee, first pitch from Wolgamuth, is just high and away for ball 1. Lee is 0 for 3 as well today. Grounder to 3rd, couple flyouts. 1-0. Fouled away. One last time, foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Makes it 1-1. Washington, unfortunately, did win against Florence, so we're still 3 games back. But now 7 games ahead in the wild card race. 1-2 as Gateway's down to their final strike in their last game at home before the All-Star break. 1-2. Fouled away. Looking for a happy bus ride home before 3 against Sussex. Riding a 2-game winning streak. Yes, a streak. 1-2 yet again. And another foul ball. Simpson looking to get the victory here. Would be his 6th. And it would tie him with Nolan Thebe for the team lead in wins. Thebe is at 6-3. Simpson is at 6-1 if this score holds. That one gets past Wilbanks. It's called a ball low. It's 2-2. And of course, the bullpen pitching great yet again, especially with Tomczak. Another foul, this time into the Grizzlies' dugout. Still remains at 2-2 as Darrell Lee does not want to be this last out in Game 3. After both winning teams scored 16 in the first two, it's 6 runs only in this game. Just misses, and that's ball 3. A walk would put the tying run up to the plate, make things a little bit more interesting for Gateway. I don't want to get a runner on here, make things a little bit more scary. Payoff pitch. That is inside for ball 4. So a great at-bat from Darrell Lee. He ends up reaching for the first time today on the walk. And Gateway is not done yet. Mitchell Sanford. Sanford has a double in the 5th. Came around to score. He has a walk and a strikeout as well. Wolgamuth trying to get out of things here in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. It's all about not allowing a base runner here because with the amount of home runs the Grizzlies hit, chance to get one over that short porch. That'll miss. High and away. It's ball 2. Lee over at first does have some speed. Possibility to take second. 2-0. Broken bat. That's a high fly ball into right field. Castillo will make the catch. And the Otters win. Evansville takes the series. That fly ball a little scary coming off the bat, but I think if the bat doesn't break, that might go out. A little bit more inside on that one, but Nate Wolgamuth gets his first save of the year. Overall, now his 5th in an Otters uniform. As the Otters win a 4-2 game, they take the series, and for the 3rd straight time, the Otters win a series after losing the first game. 14 games over 500 for the first time this season as the Otters continue to extend their lead in the wild card. And even though they're still behind 3 games to Washington, still firmly in a playoff spot here as the last road game before the All-Star break ends with a successful 4-2 win. Great pitching from Simpson, Tomczak, Valdez, and Wolgamuth as the run in the 3rd, the RBI ground out from Lynn Scott, then the 2 runs coming in the 5th inning. Salvaggio bringing in a run, then scoring on a wild pitch. Then the insurance made things a little bit more comfortable after the Blake Robertson solo home run. It's going to be a very happy bus ride as the Otters are 33-19 after 52 games. Great time here at Arsenal BG Ballpark. The Otters win it 4-2. It has been a great first half. In the second half, starting with a successful high note. 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Evansville. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Gateway. As Gateway falls to 24-28. They continue to fight for that second wild card with Schaumburg, Mississippi, Joliet, and Lake Erie. For Florence, it's their loss that brings them now 10 games back of the Central Division. But the Otters pull off a victory here. They win another series. They have still yet to lose a series since June 25th, which was 2 weeks ago. And it's been a really nice stretch for the guys. So tomorrow, it'll be back home at Bosse Field for Game 1 of a 3-game series, the last series before the All-Star break against the Sussex County Miners. For everybody here at Arsenal BG Ballpark, I'm Evan Patoka. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:35. Normal time starting for the Otters. We'll see you then.